Welcome to Studio One. If you like what you see, like and subscribe and comment. So thank you for taking time out of us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Absolutely.
For sure. So I'm Mike from Studio One, and we're based out of Toronto. We interview artists of all various genres and cultures, and that's how we stand out because there's really not a lot of publications like us. So, first question: Are you getting vaccinated? No, no, I'm not gonna. No.
Yeah, I got my first dose right here.
Oh, oh, you
I
already
got,
have.
I got it like yesterday, 2 days ago.
I didn't want you to like, because sometimes it's not a good question to ask.
I am very publicly pro-vaccination
Awesome, incredible,
because I'm trying to play shows.
right?
I got tour plans. I got festival plans. Let's go, baby. Get these vaccines out. Let's run it up.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we gotta be biased, we gotta be biased for the right reasons. Yeah, incredible. Yeah. How are you? Right. I mean, you just got your shot. I was gonna say, how are you feeling right now? Incredible.
I'm I'm better now. I got knocked over by it. First dose of the Moderna one, so the
Uh,
24 hours later was tough. I slept for like 18 hours. I don't mind.
yeah,
I'm
man.
feeling
I'm
very grateful that we even have a vaccine.
yeah. It's going slow for us. I might like. I'm in Canada. We're probably not gonna get a shot until like for me until like July earliest. So
Crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. So who are you listening to right now?
Who am I listening to? All sorts of stuff. It's always a fun question because my rotation is very wide, like in terms of genre, but also just in terms of who I'm listening to. Hold on, let me pull some up for you.
Sure.
Who I've been listening to. Love the new Lil Nas X. Listening to the Strokes recently. Some old Jay-Z and Pharrell. New Justin Bieber album. My boy Versace, super dope. Love his new record. Photo ID, Remy Wolf, Dominic Fike. How many you want?
I hear a lot of those and I hear a lot of myself in there. Yeah. That's
Oh yeah,
great. Yeah. I'm all over the place with what I listen to. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
have to be right. Like good music is good music.
Exactly. Like you can find it anywhere.
Mhm.
So you had your childhood in DC and you spent a lot of teenage years in Seattle, and that's where you speak very fondly about. Have you been back to Seattle?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Go there every month or something?
No, not quite that often. Probably like twice a year, maybe.
Once a year?
Yeah, my parents are still there, although not for
Mhm.
much longer, but they are there. So I'll go up for any breaks we have. My brother is younger and he's in college. So when he's home, I go home and see everybody, just say hello, all that good stuff.
Yeah. It's great, man. Um, I want to dive into your love for T-Pain and John Mayer because I grew up on these guys
Hell
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you met or worked with them? Bare shoulders?
No, I have come close. I have been to both of their shows before and been in proximity, but no, I haven't worked with either of them.
Have you been following John Mayer on his IGTV show, Current Mood?
Of course,
Few
yeah,
years
absolutely.
back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
super
That's
fun.
I play it to cheer myself up all the time, CBS.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So in your 2019 Build interview, you mentioned that you kept music as an option. What other careers did you have in mind? Just toying around with.
Honestly, I was always interested in a lot of stuff. I always took music pretty seriously. I've been playing various instruments since I was like 4 or 5, and been producing since I was like 14 or 15 or something. So I definitely was doing it for real, but I wasn't committed to it. My parents also, or of course, weren't sure that I could sustain myself in doing something like this. Um, yeah, I had lots of options. I was always really interested in high school, especially in academia itself. I'm a lover of learning and being in school and really, making the most of it. Always played sports all year, different sports for many years. So just kind of keeping my options open. Didn't know if I wanted to go into something, maybe be a lawyer or something like law school, or didn't really honestly know what my path was. And when I was deciding where to go to university, I had to make a decision of whether I wanted to go to New York and be in the art school or go to a bunch of other good options that I worked hard to get into. But that were just like undergrad, or not undergrad, they were undergrad, but undeclared, undecided major, like not in an art school. And I have a feeling if I had made that decision, I probably would not be here on Zoom with you today. So I decided to go to New York and be in the art school. And I found a whole community of artists there that pushed me to be my best self.
That's great. So you mentioned in multiple interviews that you work in a music studio. I worked one too as an intern. What was that like?
I thoroughly loved it. Big shout out to Jake Ottman, and the Slumbo team. I worked there in Brooklyn. It was huge for me. I was trying to get through school as quickly as possible. It was really important to me to graduate, and super important to my parents that I graduated. And interestingly, graduating college and starting career music don't often coexist. I was very frequently asked whether, or not whether, but when I was going to drop out of school, which is nice to be asked, but like I just wasn't going to do that, you know. So I worked at a few different places, a music publishing company, a branding agency, a bunch of different stuff. Just to kind of get experience in the music world for a couple of reasons. One, to decide whether that was something I wanted to do or not, and it turns out that those were not what I wanted to do. But also just to gain experience for my own, career as an artist. Like working at the publishing company was fantastic because I really understand music publishing now. Simple as that. But now when I'm having those publishing conversations, I can speak the same language, right? And the studio was the same thing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a studio in Brooklyn that I lived not too far away from. So I would just kind of keep track of scheduling sessions and making sure everything worked in the studio, which was a great way for me to personally learn about gear and like how to use things and all that stuff. And I was just around, and I got to use the studio in my free in the open hours whenever it wasn't booked, which was fantastic, huge for me. And I got to get credits at NYU for doing that work. So it all worked very, very well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had a follow-up question about, what kind of job would you be open to considering after music? But it sounds like you don't really want to end music, right? You want to just keep chugging, keep pursuing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it as long as I want to keep doing it. Hopefully people are still listening. But no, I think I definitely would consider other things. That was for me a big reason why I wanted to graduate, is just like I know myself. I changed my mind a lot, and maybe when in 20 years I want to do something completely different, where I'll be thankful that I pushed through and got that degree. So I'm glad I did, but I'm not sure exactly what that would be. Probably music or creative industry related. Maybe something more administrative than actual, doing the thing. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
Um, what's your favorite spot in New York? Because you've been there throughout many years, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I lived there for 3 years about. Um, One of my favorite places is a restaurant called Salt and Charcoal in Brooklyn. I worked there for like a year and a half. Um, and I feel like I owe a lot of my fighting spirit to working there. It's a great restaurant in Williamsburg, and big props to them. They really welcomed me and trained me, and taught me what I needed to know to really make the most of my time there. And they were so supportive of my career, and just like a really good family there. So I have nothing but love for them, and I always love going back.
Yeah, I have a restaurant like that.
Mhm.
They're far though, but I
Yeah.
think you're just as far now. Yeah. Uh, the one thing going through your work was the Animal Crossing Type 2 video.
Mhm.
That was how did that come across? How was that?
I mean, honestly, like I'm always looking for ways to turn the pieces of my life that aren't necessarily music related, but that I share a connection with a lot of people with, um, and kind of turning that into a music thing. We've done it in the past with Minecraft, and just like I'm a lover of video games. Right now, I'm playing a couple different video games, but any opportunity to kind of like bring those worlds together is a good thing. And just kind of I feel like a lot of the process of being an artist today is obviously the music is super important, right? You can't really go anywhere without it. But the other piece of it is the cultural relevancy and cultural value, right? And doing something like that is just one of our ways of getting people to know me a little bit better and show who I am beyond just the songs that you hear come up on Spotify, or if you saw me at a show one time on tour or something, like just want to get, let people know who I am and show them that I'm more than just that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you do really represent your generation well because
Try.
so your music is very inspirational, youthful, and yearning. It sounds like endless, makes me feel like the end of a coming of age movie. Are
Mm.
those the emotions you're trying to convey, or is this something different?
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. I think those are definitely some of them. I look, I'm to be honest and candid, like I'm just trying to live my life here as a 23-year-old on Earth who cares about the world and how people are doing, and then put that back into the music. I think I've realized, especially in the last year, I've had a lot of time to think. This is my studio you're looking at. I've been here for most of that time, and just kind of think about what I want my music to do and what the purpose is. And I've realized that I kind of already knew what the purpose was, and I've been doing it for a while, but I hadn't classified it. And the classification that I came to is that I want my music to uplift people. And uplift sounds positive, and it is. That doesn't necessarily mean the songs have to be positive to do that. Sometimes uplifting is providing examples of some of my hardest moments or things that I've witnessed or experienced that other people can feel like they are seen or heard or understood. Or maybe it is positive uplifting music. So I really just create from honestly from my heart and my gut, and try and do things that feel worthwhile and that might provide value to somebody that listens to it.
I don't know. Like that was an excellent answer. I don't know how to. Yeah, I'm just taking it in. With not a very deep question. Uh, how so a remix of your endless song by sarcastic song
Mhm.
sounds, sorry, I'll say that again, a remix of endless by sarcastic sounds was just released. It's a more mellow approach. Which songs would you like to remix
That I have already released.
of other people?
Oh, that's a cool question. That's awesome. I'm honestly down for so much of that. I am a huge lover of and proponent of collaboration. It's how I learned everything. I never really had I had bits and pieces of a music education from more like classical instruments, and I got to take a few classes, which were fantastic. But by and large, I learned how to do what I know how to do through two things: through YouTube, and through working with people. And one of my favorite things to do when I'm not working on my own records is to help bring other people's visions to life or bring a new twist to other people's vision or work that's already out. I think a remix is such a fun opportunity to, if it's done well and with intention, really add value to a song. And maybe flip the song and give it a whole new meaning. So there's tons of artists that I would love to do that for, and that I imagine I will do that for going forward. Honestly, the list is probably the same as all the people I've been listening to, which we went through. But yeah, I'm always looking for those opportunities. Just like as a creative person and a lover of teamwork and collaboration, like I am trying to work on tons of records with other people. It's something I've been doing more of in quarantine too, is just working on songs to give them to other people, right? To pitch to other artists and other DJs and producers and stuff. So I'm here to do it as much as people will have me.
Great. I forgot to ask you in the beginning. What where did Rence when did the Rence name come from?
It's a good story. I've had a lot of names when I was much younger. I had a lot of names as I was releasing music. I wasn't even really releasing it, just like producer names and DJ names. I started as a DJ producer in Seattle, and then eventually found my voice and still hadn't found my name yet. And my music teacher at the time in high school, senior year of high school, was like, you just have to pick something that you think rolls off the tongue nicely, and like people, you could see in conversation, you could see it on a festival lineup, whatever. So I thought about some of my favorite artists at the time, and someone I've always looked up to is Drake. And his name is Aubrey Drake Graham, and my name is Jackson Lawrence Hirsch, so my middle name is Lawrence. And I didn't really want to be Lawrence, right? That just felt like the wrong genre. It just didn't give me the right energy. So just took the back half, which is Rents. And it's fun because Lawrence, the name, is just happens to be a family name on my mom's side and my dad's side. So I feel a lot of pride being Rents.
The Lawrences in the world are quaking right now.
Yeah, right.
So last question. What's next for Rents?
What's next? I've been spending my time making as much of the best music as I can. I was with a friend last night that described me to someone else that we had just met as in a period of making the best music I've ever made, which was a really nice thing to hear. And I think I agree. I've been working really hard on tons of new music, like I was just mentioning, for myself, but also for other artists. I'm hoping and imagining you'll see my name in the credits of some other people's stuff coming up soon, which will be super fun. Um, as well as obviously lots with the artist project. Like we were talking about at the beginning, we'll see about shows. I have some stuff, we're looking at for this year, for the summer and for the fall, and hopefully things can happen. So that would certainly be part of the plan. The other is just to put out great music. Honestly, I'm constantly in a competition with myself to beat my own songs. I don't know if you can see on this whiteboard over here on this door, but there's like 50 songs or something I'm working on. I don't know, 40, 50 or something. So I'm the type of guy, a type of artist anyway, that just bounces around songs and tries to make the best ones with the best people. So that's what I'm going to keep doing, and hopefully put them out into the world and people enjoy them. You know?
It's great. Is LA opening up? Uh, kind
A
of.
little, yes and no. I would like to. Well, let me rephrase. I think it is possibly a little prematurely, but it's definitely going that way. They're doing a lot of vaccinations here, so people are definitely getting vaccinated, and then I love to see it. So hopefully things are open before too long.
Yeah. Well, I think that's every single question I've planned to ask you. Um,
Amazing.
yeah, you're my first interview.
Hell
So
yeah.
yeah,
Cheers.
it's a crazy high way to start. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me. All the best. Stay healthy. All those good things. And hopefully I'll see you in person sometime soon.
For sure. For sure, man.
Awesome.
All right,
I appreciate it so much. Talk soon.
man. Bless. Thanks.
Peace.